Ready? Play.
Novak Djokovic against Alejandro Tabilo in the Athens ATP 250 round of 16 clash. And as you can see from the screen, they have played twice before, and both of those matches going the way of the Chilean. Both of them, crucially, were on clay, and both of them probably coming at an inopportune moment for Novak Djokovic in his clay court season, particularly that one this year in Monte Carlo. I do feel that Novak does need the reps, does need the matches on clay before hitting the ground running. And it's all about, of course, the Grand Slams for Novak now. But there is something in it. I mean, Alejandro has yet to drop a set to Novak Djokovic in those two matches. And so that's 4 sets consecutively for Tabilo. And he hasn't even been pushed to a tie break. Well, Novak, of course, hasn't played since the US Open. Tabilo has already played a match at the ATP 250 in Athens, coming through in 3 super tight sets against Walton, winning the first set 7-6. Then it was 6-7, 7-5. So couldn't really be much tighter, but he did emerge the winner. That will, I think, help him a little bit. In Vienna, he went out early to Alexander Bublik in straight sets as well. He did play in Bratislava when he also went down early to Rodesh. So his form at best is sketchy, at worst is probably not great. And yet I thought in the US Open, I saw some good things from him in his straight sets loss to Alexander Zverev. It was a first round loss, so that's not great, but I thought it could easily have gone 4 or even beyond that, who knows, sets. One of the sets that Tabilo lost was a tiebreak, and there was just 1 break of serve in the third. But since then, in Chengdu, he did make the final, where he, of course, beat Lorenzo Musetti. In Japan, at the Japan Open, he then goes out first round in 3 sets to Zizou Bergs, albeit the third set was a deciding set tiebreaker. In Shanghai, he makes the round of 64 before losing to Felix. And then he hits the Challenger circuit, where he lost to Carreño Busta in Olbia. He does play Vienna, as I said, losing to Bublik there. And then he plays Bratislava, just playing 1 match and losing to Rodesh. And now he's won. So his form is all over the show. But it does include a title in recent months. In fact, he's won a title more recently than Novak Djokovic. Their 2 encounters, of course, coming on clay, I think. So maybe we can read a bit less into it. But Novak, I think, would probably have rather played Tabilo a little bit later on than in his first match back after the US Open. As a result, I can easily see the first set going the way of Tabilo. But ultimately, I'm going to have Novak prevailing in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready. Play.
Novak Djokovic against Alejandro Tabilo in the Athens ATP 250 round of 16 clash. And as you can see from the screen, they have played twice before, and both of those matches going the way of the Chilean. Both of them, crucially, were on clay, and both of them probably coming at an inopportune moment for Novak Djokovic in his clay court season, particularly that one this year in Monte Carlo. I do feel that Novak does need the reps, does need the matches on clay before hitting the ground running, and it's all about, of course, the Grand Slams for Novak now. But there is something in it. I mean, Alejandro has yet to drop a set to Novak Djokovic in those 2 matches, and so that's 4 sets consecutively for Tabilo, and he hasn't even been pushed to a tie-break. Well, Novak, of course, hasn't played since the US Open. Tabilo has already played a match at the ATP 250 in Athens, coming through in 3 super tight sets against Walton, winning the first set 7-6. Then it was 6-7, 7-5. So couldn't really be much tighter, but he did emerge the winner. That will, I think, help him a little bit. In Vienna, he went out early to Alexander Bublik in straight sets as well. He did play in Bratislava when he also went down early to Rodesh. So his form at best is sketchy, at worst is probably not great. And yet I thought in the US Open, I saw some good things from him in his straight sets loss to Alexander Zverev. It was a first round loss, so that's not great, but I thought it could easily have gone 4 or even beyond that, who knows, sets. One of the sets that Tabilo lost was a tiebreak, and there was just 1 break of serve in the third. But since then, in Chengdu, he did make the final, where he, of course, beat Lorenzo Musetti. In Japan, at the Japan Open, he then goes out first round in 3 sets to Zizou Bergs, albeit the third set was a deciding set tiebreaker. In Shanghai, he makes the round of 64 before losing to Felix. And then he hits the challenger circuit where he lost to Carreño Busta in Olbia. He does play Vienna, as I said, losing to Bublik there. And then he plays Bratislava, just playing one match and losing to Rodeš. And now he's won. So his form is all over the show. But it does include a title in recent months. In fact, he's won a title more recently than Novak Djokovic. Their 2 encounters, of course, coming on clay, I think. So maybe we can read a bit less into it. But Novak, I think, would probably have rather played Tabilo a little bit later on than in his first match back after the US Open. As a result, I can easily see the first set going the way of Tabilo, but ultimately I'm going to have Novak prevailing in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
Novak Djokovic against Alejandro Tabilo in the Athens ATP 250 round of 16 clash. And as you can see from the screen, they have played twice before, and both of those matches going the way of the Chilean. Both of them, crucially, were on clay, and both of them probably coming at an inopportune moment for Novak Djokovic in his clay court season, particularly that one this year in Monte Carlo. I do feel that Novak does need the reps, does need the matches on clay before hitting the ground running. And it's all about, of course, the Grand Slams for Novak now. But there is something in it. I mean, Alejandro has yet to drop a set to Novak Djokovic in those 2 matches. And so that's 4 sets consecutively for Tabilo. And he hasn't even been pushed to a tie break. Well, Novak, of course, hasn't played since the US Open. Tabilo has already played a match at the ATP 250 in Athens, coming through in 3 super tight sets against Walton, winning the first set 7-6, then it was 6-7, 7-5. So couldn't really be much tighter, but he did emerge the winner. That will, I think, help him a little bit. In Vienna, he went out early to Alexander Bublik in straight sets as well. He did play in Bratislava when he also went down early to Rodeš. So his form at best is sketchy, at worst is probably not great. And yet I thought in the US Open, I saw some good things from him in his straight sets loss to Alexander Zverev. It was a first round loss, so that's not great, but I thought it could easily have gone 4 or even beyond that, who knows, sets. One of the sets that Tabilo lost was a tiebreak, and there was just 1 break of serve in the third. But since then, in Chengdu, he did make the final, where he, of course, beat Lorenzo Musetti. In Japan, at the Japan Open, he then goes out first round in 3 sets to Zizou Bergs, albeit the third set was a deciding set tiebreaker. In Shanghai, he makes the round of 64 before losing to Felix. And then he hits the challenger circuit where he lost to Carreño Busta in Olbia. He does play Vienna, as I said, losing to Bublik there. And then he plays Bratislava, just playing one match and losing to Rodeš. And now he's won. So his form is all over the show. But it does include a title in recent months. In fact, he's won a title more recently than Novak Djokovic. Their 2 encounters, of course, coming on clay, I think. So maybe we can read a bit less into it. But Novak, I think, would probably have rather played Tabilo a little bit later on than in his first match back after the US Open. As a result, I can easily see the first set going the way of Tabilo. But ultimately, I'm going to have Novak prevailing in 3 sets. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca Jorge, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Sabalenka here in a spot of bother, but she's got away with it because Pagula's gone along with a forehand. Djokovic has won the first point of the match in Athens against Alejandro Tabilo. Get voting in our polls as to who you think are going to win these matches. Tabilo actually having lost the first 2 points on serve, so it is love 30 over in Athens. Is Pagula going to be able to create another breakpoint opportunity? Let's see. It's deuce at the moment on the Sabalenka serve. That is in Riyadh. Double fault. It's going to be another break point for Jessica Pagula. The racket is being hit on the head for Arina Sabalenka right now. First serve down the tee. It's good. You wouldn't know it, though, from Sabalenka's reaction. 181 kilometers an hour, that serve. Deuce. A lot of talk about this battle of the sexes encounter that's going to take place between Sabalenka and Kyrgios. I think it's been on the cards for a while. I don't really know what to think of it. I need some time. Meanwhile, Djokovic repelling forehand after forehand after forehand from Tabilo. And it does unnerve the Chilean. And Djokovic is going to have 2 break points at the beginning of the match, straight off the bat. Another break point here for Jessica Pagula, the 4th one in this game. Backhand return from her, backhand from... And it's got to go long from Sabalenka, and Pagula breaks for 2-1. And Tabilo's fended off both of these break points and has got it back to deuce. So, Pagula up a break in the 3rd set. All the momentum with the American right now. Tabilo saving 2 break points. Djokovic's outfit, what do we think? Green t-shirt and the rest all black. Djokovic, of course, has, or at least the president of the Italian Tennis Federation has confirmed that Djokovic is going to participate in the ATP Tour Finals, which to me makes sense. $15 here, Sabalenka Pagula. Tabilo is held serve, so he's got out of his sticky situation. So Tabilo is held for 1-love. Meanwhile, Pagula and Sabalenka, third set. Remember, Jessica Pagula wins this match. She will have qualified for the semi-finals. And then it is a straight shootout between Sabalenka and Goff for the second spot. Still a lot of tennis to be played in this match yet, though. It's 15 all. Pagula has the early break. But it's not like she hasn't been impregnable on serve today. She's been broken a few times. Oh, what a return, Arina Sabalenka, 15-30. I think she's the best second serve returner in the game. I don't mind Anisimovan's return either when it's on, like I remember it was against Osaka at the US Open. But that's a great serve there from Pagula, 30 all. Meanwhile, Djokovic serving, love 1, 15 love. Serve down the tee. Oh, but that backhand return has got it all wrong from Sabalenka. And it is 40-30 for Jessica Pagula. Djokovic comfortable on serve right now in Athens. 30 love he leads. Did have a couple of break points in the first game, but wasn't able to take advantage of that scenario. Second serve here for Sabalenka to look at on the Pagula serve. Good return there from Sabalenka. A really good return. Like I said, the best second serve returner in the women's game, in my opinion. Djokovic, by the way, I know he's serving right now, but I think he's probably the best returner of all time. Him and Agassi are in a fight for that one. I always think Agassi's ones are a little bit more aggressive and a bit more risky. Djokovic tends to fire his at the feet of his opponent. Meanwhile, a second serve here for Arina Sabalenka to look at. Sabalenka breaks back. Boom, boom, boom. 2 all. Djokovic is held for 1 all, by the way. Okay, love 15 here on the Sabalenka serve. Over in Athens, it's 1 game all with Tabilo serving. Or the backhand from Djokovic goes long, so it's 15 love for Tabilo. In Riyadh, it's now love 30 after some good attacking play there from Jessica Pagula. 15 all, sorry, don't lie. 15 all. What am I thinking? Looks like Wilson are getting in on the Tiger action as well in terms of the decor on the Arina Sabalenka bag. Block return from Pagula. Forehand cross court. Forehand from both players here. Forehand up the line. Good play from Pagula on the defense. Forehand here from Sabalenka. Pagula still defending. Pagula still defending and defending very well. Now she can attack and she puts the forehand away. Again, echoes of the Coco Gauff Arena Sabalenka matchup in terms of excellent defense, and it unnerves Sabalenka when she thinks she's put a ball away for either a winner or at least something that's going to help her win the point, and it doesn't. 15-30, which is identical score in Athens, where we see Tabilo 15-30 on his serve. Yeah, I regarding Matthew's comment regarding the Djokovic-Tabilo match, yeah, I think he'd like to get at least a win in Athens. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if it's crazy, crazy tough, third set, he's got to dig deep. I wonder how deep he will dig. But no, I think he'll dig as deep as he can, put it that way. 30 all anyway. Sabalenka, by the way, has a game point, 40-30. Forehand here, Sabalenka, and forehand up the line. What a winner from Arina Sabalenka. She leads 3-2. Over in Athens, Tabilo has a game point at 40-30. As Sabalenka and Pagula change ends, I will focus now on this Djokovic-Tabilo encounter. Game point here for Tabilo. Forehand up the line from Djokovic is really good, but well defended from Tabilo, but he can't defend that forehand, and it's deuce. For those of you just tuning in to Djokovic-Tabilo, Djokovic did garner 2 break points in the first game of the match on the Tabilo serve. Tabilo's, by the way, form is really mixed right now. I don't know if any of you watched our preview, but yeah. Tabilo is losing matches first round sometimes, but then he did win Chengdu. Wonderful return there from Djokovic. A slice from Novak. Backhand cross-court from Tabilo. Forehand from Djokovic goes long, and we get a clenched fist from the Chilean as he has a game point. What do we think of this Battle of the Sexes thing that has been announced today? Slice there from Djokovic. Backhand cross-court. Backhand to backhand right now. It's a game point for Tabilo, and Tabilo holds for 2-1. So, change of ends in Athens. Sabalenka has had a change of fortune in this deciding set. She was down a break, 2-1, but then she breaks back for 2-all. She then holds for 3-2, and now she has love 15 on the Pagula serve. It's a good serve there from Pagula. That forehand's going to go long, though. Love 30. Is this the decisive momentum shift? We will see. Love 30 on the Pagula serve. The last 15 points, 10 have gone the way of Arina Sabalenka. But that's a good serve down the tee there from Pagula. Not too pacey, but it caught Sabalenka out on the backhand side, and it's 15-30. Backhand return from Sabalenka. Backhand Pagula. Slice there from Sabalenka. Forehand Pagula. Forehand Sabalenka. Forehand Pagula. Pagula's going to come into the net, but that's a wonderful volley from Jessica Pagula. She seemed a bit hesitant there, but she dealt with it so well. 30 all. Good serve from Pagula. Forehand now. Forehand from Sabalenka. Cross court is huge. And it's too big, too good, too venomous for Jessica Pagula to deal with. And it's 30-40. Another break point for Aryna Sabalenka. She is 3 from 14 on break points today. Pagula, 4 from 8. I will get back to Djokovic Tabilo shortly. But right now, the tense moments are in Riyadh. Break point for Sabalenka. Good serve down the tee. Sabalenka gets her racket on it. Backhand from Pagula. Net cord from Sabalenka. Lucky. But that's a good forehand there from Pagula. That's going to land out from Sabalenka and it's deuce. Djokovic and Tabilo are back underway, with Djokovic winning the first point after a forehand error, landing in the tram lines from Tabilo. So it's 15 love as we see Djokovic's parents in the crowd. Backhand return, backhand from Pagula, backhand from Sabalenka. Is that a winner from Aryna? It is! Wow! Flat as a pancake. Down the line winner. Another break point. Pagula on the backhand. Backhand to backhand. Now it's on the forehand of Sabalenka, which is big. Pagula defends, but has that landed out? Yes, it has. And so Aryna Sabalenka gets the break. From 2-1 down, she has now won 3 games in a row, including 2 breaks of serve, and leads 4-2. Now remember, Sabalenka with a win will not guarantee her spot in the semi-finals. It'll come down to the nature of her loss to Pagula, to Goff, if that was to happen. Of course, if she beats Goff, then she wins the group. So Sabalenka is serving at 4-2. Meanwhile, Djokovic, 2-game points in Athens. An unreturned serve, bringing up those 2-game points. Sabalenka with a huge forehand for 15 love. So let me get this right. Pagula loses this and she'll be on 1 win. Sabalenka will be on 2. Sabalenka beats Goff. She wins the group. And then it'll be Pagula who will qualify no matter what. If Sabalenka beats Goff. Because even if Pagula lost to Jasmine Paolini, her head-to-head with Goff would mean that she would go through. If Coco Gauff beats Aryna Sabalenka, that's when it gets complicated. And if Pagula beats Jasmine Paolini, as I would expect. Anyway, good forehand there from Sabalenka, forcing the error, and it's 40 love and 3-game points. Djokovic is, by the way, held for 2 all quite comfortably. He's yet to face a break point. He did get 2 break points on the Tabilo serve in the first game. Three-game points here anyway for Aryna Sabalenka. Backhand return is good from Pagula, so 40-15. Oh, a terrible smash there from Tabilo. 15 all. First serve from Sabalenka hits the net and goes wide. So a second serve for Jessica Pagula to look at. Forehand from Sabalenka goes into the net. Sorry, from Pagula goes into the net. And Sabalenka holds for 5-2. Meanwhile, in Athens, we see Stefanos Tsitsipas in the crowd watching this encounter. Let me see if there's anybody tweeting about the scenarios on Twitter regarding Sabalenka, Pagula, etc., etc. Yes, I'm sure you're very keen for a Saba win, Ghosty, and it's looking good right now. I'm just wondering, though, what the scenarios are for this group. Meanwhile, over in Athens, Tabilo has a game point for 3-2. A game point that comes and goes. So Djokovic has won that point. It's at deuce. Tabilo's certainly so far the one under pressure more on his serve, and that was a failed drop shot from there. Okay, over to Riyadh, where Pagula is serving to stay in the match. Forehand return is too good from Arina Sabalenka, backing up my suspicion and my feelings that Arina Sabalenka is the best second serve returner on the WTA Tour. Let me know if you disagree with that in the live chat, or agree. Love 15, Pagula serving. Backhand return here is going to go long. So it's 15 all. Ghosty on fire in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way, Ghosty. Second serve for Arina Sabalenka to look at. And she does so well with it, forcing the error from Pagula. Backhand return from Sabalenka is too long, and it's 30 all. Yeah, she was in my consideration, Anisimova, partly because I just remember how well she was doing on the Osaka serve. Nice ace down the tee there from Pagula. So Anisimova and Daniel Collins, yeah. But Anisimova was certainly in my conversation I was having with myself about half an hour ago. Anyway, game point here for Jessica Pagula, 40-30. On the forehand from Pagula, and she wins the point. So she wins the game, and it's over to you, Arina Sabalenka. Can you serve this out? Meanwhile, change of ends in Athens, and Djokovic and Tabilo are on serve. So, Sabalenka serving for the match. Remember, a win won't guarantee... Oh, is that landed in? Or is it landed out? I think it's landed just out. Sabalenka let that go. I mean, it was a hell of a return anyway. I think Sabalenka probably let it go knowing that she couldn't deal with it. At least deal with it in a comfortable manner. Anyway, it's 15-love. Good serve there from Sabalenka. Forehand now. It's going to go long from Arena. The arms are out wide. There's a little shrug of the shoulders. It's 15-all. Backhand return. Backhand from Sabalenka. Coming into the net, Arena. Oh, she's going to be in a bit of trouble here, is she? No, she's going to put that smash away. Surely she does. She came into the net. I'm not sure if she knew exactly what she was doing when she got there, but she did a really good pickup, making it a little tricky for Jessica to chase that down. And in the end, Jessica really had only one choice, which was to try and lob Sabalenka, and it didn't really work. And Sabalenka won it with a smash. Vamos, Tabilo. Hola, Nicolas Flores. Nicola, si podría suscribir, por favor? Sería fenomenal. So, Sabalenka hit 30-15 on her serve. 2 points away from winning this match. She was a breakdown, don't forget the beginning of this third set. Forehand return is going to go long, 40-15. 2 match points for Aryna Sabalenka. This won't guarantee her a spot in the semi-finals, but it will put her within touching distance. I would imagine a 3-set loss to Coco would be enough, for example. But I could be wrong on that. I'd have to look at the permutations. Anyway, Sabalenka to serve. Forehand return is good from Pagula, but wow, Sabalenka crouching like a tiger. Puts the forehand away, wins this match in 3 sets. A nice embrace at the net from the pair. And it is Sabalenka who gets the win. So, Aryna Sabalenka, you have won both of your matches at the WTA finals thus far. It's not quite putting you in the next round just yet, but this 6-4, 2-6, 6-3 win over Jessica Pagula will do you a huge boost. And I suspect a 3-set loss even to Coco Gauff will be enough to progress, but that is to come up in a couple of days. Now, looking back on this match, Sabalenka had so many breakpoint opportunities, and it looked like she was going to pay for not being ruthless enough with those breakpoint opportunities. Jessica Pagula was much more ruthless with her chances, and in fact was up an early break in the third set as a result. However, Sabalenka then went on a winning run of 4 games in a row from 2-1 down. Actually, it was 3 games in a row, I think, from 2-1 down to 4-2. But that did include, of course, 2 breaks of serve. And that was enough to get her over the line. She may well have had some doubts as well going into that third set, bearing in mind she had lost a very narrow 3-setter to Jessica Pagula in Wuhan recently. But she righted the wrongs of those breakpoint opportunities, and she is pleased. She is not out of this tournament yet, nor is Jessica Pagula, by the way, who, of course, will be playing Jasmine Paolini in the last match. Paolini losing in straight sets earlier on today. But it is Sabalenka who tops the group right now, with 2 wins from 2, having won straight sets as well the other day. Surviving a tough one, indeed. Crouching like a tiger, indeed, Ghosty. We might get to hear from Aryna as well, to hear what she thinks of this match. Yes, here we go.
Number 1 in the world. Let's talk about how you were able to, like you do with Jessie all the time, go to that whole other level when you have to.
I have no idea. She's an incredible player. She always pushed me to that limit, and in the second set I felt like she just stepped in and she just played incredible tennis, and in the third set, I was just like thinking, okay, I'm gonna go after my shots. I'm gonna try to stay even more aggressive, put all of that speed back on her, and hope that I'll get my chance. And again, she pushed me, and I love it. I love playing against her because it's never easy matches. It's always great tennis, great level, great points, and super happy with the win.
You take a look at something.
Sabalenka's won 19 of her last 22 matches, by the way.
Painting the lines. How happy are you on a technical standpoint? Raising the game, of course, but going for your shots with a ton of confidence.
I mean, she played incredible on the net. Like every time I would try to go to like this a bit slower, like wider shots, she would be there. She would show me why she was great in doubles, and I was like, okay, you know what? Like I have nothing else to do as just going like as hard as I can, as heavy as I can down the lines, I was really enjoying it. I was really enjoying that she was like pushing me to the next level.
Okay, what a difference a year makes. And you've played a few WTA finals. The size of the crowd compared to last year, tennis has really caught on here in Saudi Arabia. How pleased are you with the energy that you're feeling, the vibe, and the love for you here in Riyadh?
That's insane, guys. Compared to the last year, I didn't expect that many people in the crowd and that many of you cheering for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, and I really enjoyed playing in front of you all, and I'll see you on Thursday, I guess.
A couple days, the number one player of the world, Arena Sabalenka.
There you go, indeed. I don't know. I'm very dubious about how they've gone from 0 to a packed crowd in the space of a year. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few little things that'll get leaked out in terms of maybe then just attracting some fans. But I could be wrong on that. But what I'm not wrong on is the fact that Arena Sabalenka is the best player in the world. And I think the best returner of a second serve on the WTA tour as well. She also has one of the best serves and one of the best forehands. And today she brought it from 2-1 down in that third set. She knew what needed to be done, and she got the job done, winning those games in a row, getting the double break from a breakdown to Jessica Pagula in that third set. Also, I want to add a few other things in terms of the permutations for this group. So she came back from a breakdown in that third set, as I said, and she's now 2-0, having won her first match in straight sets. That also is important. So that, I think, if I've got it right, means that she just needs one set versus Coco Gauff to win the group, and therefore not to depend on Pagula Paolini. Of course, if Paolini beats Pagula, then Sabalenka is through, no matter what. But I also think that a Paolini win, a Pagula dropping a set even, I think, as well, against Paolini, would be enough for Sabalenka to qualify. But of course, if Sabalenka wins her match or gets at least one set against Coco Gauff, then she will go through. If Coco Gauff wins that match, that's when things get very interesting. If Coco Gauff wins it in 3 sets, for example, and Jessica Pagula wins her match against Jasmine Paolini, then I think it's Gauff versus Pagula head-to-head. And, of course, Pagula won that match. So I think it will be Pagula who qualifies. Just going to have a quick look at the match stats here, by the way. And looking at points won on serve, 62% for Sabalenka, Pagula 59%. 28 winners off the racket of Arina Sabalenka compared to 23 from Jessica Pagula. 44 unforced errors, which is a lot from Arina Sabalenka, albeit over 3 sets. 25 off Pagula is fine. But listen to this breakpoint conversion scenario. Sabalenka had 16 breakpoint opportunities today, and she broke 4 times. So there were 12 breakpoints that came and went. As for Pagula, she was much more ruthless, winning 4 from 8. She also won 9 points at the net, and we did hear Sabalenka touch upon that. But I think a very important statistic, and maybe the most important one of all, and one that we don't always see when it comes out from the stats, is the forced errors. This is when the other players has hit an incredible shot, you get your racket on it, but of course there's not much you can do with it, and Sabalenka hit almost double the number of forced error shots compared to Pagula. She made 36 forced errors off the racket of Pagula, whereas Pagula just did 19 on her. Okay, that brings the Sabalenka Pagula stream to an end, but come and join us immediately for Tabilo against Novak Djokovic in Athens. So see you there. Djokovic to serve when they return to the court. Okay, Djokovic to serve here. Goes down the tee. He's going to have an easy forehand put away. He does put it away for 15 love. Forehand from Tabilo into the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand from Tabilo down the center of the court. Both hitting backhands down the middle of the court. Now it's on the forehand of Novak. Forehand from Tabilo. Of course, Tabilo is a lefty. Oh, lovely forehand down the line there from Novak Djokovic. 30 love. And 30 love becomes 40 love. So 3 game points here for Novak Djokovic. After an unreturned serve there from Novak. So 40 love. A couple of net cords here on these serves. Bit lucky because he's a second serve. Djokovic holds for 4 all. Tabilo's serving, and it's already love 15. And love 15 soon becomes 15 all. Don't know what happened there, but we lost connection, but I'm back. Anyway, Djokovic versus Tabilo. Tabilo has a game point here. And he's got it done. So it's 5-4. Djokovic now serving to stay in the first set. So Sabalenka has won her 3-set battle with Jessica Pagula today. Back in Athens, though, which is where we are right now, and we're concentrating on. It is Novak Djokovic against Alejandro Tabilo, and Djokovic now serving to stay in this set. "45 minutes on the clock in the Greek capital. Again, disappeared, but I'm back. 40 love, Novak Djokovic. I think, Ghosty, regarding the determination to win, I think it'll be there because it's still... I think the biggest question is if he, gets to the semi-finals, for example, and then, how he's feeling at that point. I think today he'll give it absolutely everything, because I think even a really tight 3-set win will actually do him some good. Because he probably needs some tennis under his legs in terms of not having played since the US Open. And by the way, he's held serve, so it's 5-all. I think he's going to try, but how many tournaments did Jimmy Connors win? 109, 106, something like that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an ask, because he's obviously going all in on the slams, which is a good thing, but it does make it more difficult to win tournaments. So I guess he's kind of in a situation right now where he's going to win 1 to 2 tournaments per year, right? And so if he's going to if Connors is on 109, he's going to have to play 3, 4, 5 more years, right? And yeah. Okay, love 15 here on the Tabilo serve. Smash from Tabilo. Good serve, good smash. 30-15. Serve out wide. Good, what a return that is from Novak. Wow. Drop shot Novak Djokovic. That's going to be too good. 30-all. 2 absolutely incredible shots there from Novak Djokovic. First of all, the serve was so far wide. Djokovic did really well to get a racket on it. Never mind produce what he did produce. And then the drop shot was exquisite. 30-all. Nice forehand +1 there. Winner for Tabilo, 40-30. And Tabilo holds 6-5. Change of ends. Any chance he'll play constant? Djokovic could just cruise around winning 250s. 109, yeah. Ken Roswell was 45 when he retired. Different game back then, but still. Impressive. Federer, I'm going to say, was 41, but probably didn't play much for the last 18 months, right? Djokovic here at 5-6. I think Djokovic will go all in, dig as deep as possible, and if he loses this in 3 sets, whatever. And if he wins it in 3 sets and then says, you know what, I find it difficult to imagine, Djokovic having a really grueling week and then playing the final on Saturday and playing ATP Tour finals on Monday, for example. I think if his week is not too grueling, he'll try and win the title. Yeah. But if it's super, super grueling, he might well pull out before the semi-finals. Bapana is retired this week, no? Didn't he announce his retirement? Two decades on, and Bapana calls time on his career. There you go. Yep. Okay, Djokovic here serving to stay in the second set for the second time. But he does win the first point of the game on his first serve. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. Let's try and get to 20 likes on this video if we can. First serve clips the net and lands in. And eventually gets his first serve, and it's an ace down the tee. 30 love, Novak Djokovic. Ooh, 30-15 now on the Djokovic serve. First serve goes into the net. Backhand here from Tabilo is good, but Djokovic fends it off. Now it's a slice. Oh, he's going to drop out. It is, I think. Clips the net and lands out. 30 all. Whew. So, 30 all. Tense moments now. But it's an ace for 40-30. So game point to force a tiebreak. Down the tee, backhand return is not good enough, and we are going to a tiebreak. I will come to your comments in the chat in a moment. Djokovic, 1-love. Gets the mini break after Tabilo goes long. Two, love. Djokovic puts the forehand away. And it's an ace. 3, love. Novak Djokovic. Running away with this tiebreak right now. Okay, let's have a quick look at the live chat. I've been neglecting you for a little while. I do apologize. Yeah, indeed. 3-1. After Novak puts a forehand wide, and he's annoyed with himself at that one, shouting. Trying to hear what he said. I bet it would be Serbian, but... Yeah. Might be some cursing there. I don't know. Kaboli's up on a set on Sonego, is he, after winning the first set 6-2? Okay. Make sure you hit the like button, everyone. Let's see if we can get to 20 likes on this video as soon as possible. But also, of course, if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe as Tabilo gets an unreturned serve. 3-2. Three two becomes 4-2 at the change of ends. So Djokovic arresting that slide after back-to-back points went the way of Tabilo. Baseline points won in that set so far. 26 for Novak Djokovic and 16 for Tabilo. He loves the grind. First serve goes into the net from Djokovic. He's got a mini break advantage right now. Now we're into the rally. 4-2 he leads. Playing it cautiously, both players here right now. Tabilo with some good depth there. Both players really taking it easy on this point. Neither really taking too many risks. Someone's going to have to blink at some point. Novak just upping the ante a little bit. Now Novak's going to come into the net. He should win this point from here, and he does. 5-2. Not sure this tennis, though, is sustainable at this point of his career. Yeah. 5-2. Djokovic leads in the tiebreak. We are 86 subscribers away from 20,000. Forehand Tabilo into the forehand of Djokovic. Tabilo comes into the net. Doesn't do really well with that volley, though. But that lob from Djokovic is going to go long. 5-3. Still just one mini break at the moment. Differential. Good serve there from Tabilo, but well dealt with by Novak. Novak on the defense on the forehand there. Novak still on the defense on the forehand, but he's defending it pretty well at the moment. Now it's a slice from Tabilo, and now the forehand from Tabilo is not good enough, and it's 6-3 and 3 set points for Novak Djokovic. It's an indoor tournament, but somehow, I don't know, it feels very bright and almost daylight in there. Anyway, the set's not done yet, but it is 3 set points for Novak Djokovic. So one of the next 3 points goes his way, and he has a huge advantage in this encounter. Backhand return from Tabilo. Forehand to the backhand. Forehand from Novak, changing directions there. Tabilo with some decent depth. Not enough depth there, though, giving Novak a chance to attack. Novak now on the slice. It's a pretty good slice. Tabilo really struggling right now in this rally, but he's bending down. He's still in it. He's still in it, but is that going to land in? No, it's not. And Djokovic wins the first set on a tie break by 7 points to 3. after the Tabilo forehand goes long. Not quite sure what Tabilo was trying to do with that forehand, because it was neither defensive nor attacking, and it could have been attacked. Plenty of support for Novak Djokovic. I'm not sure if they're Serbians or Greeks. Of course, he does live in Greece, so that may well influence some of the support that he is garnering. Some of the stats from that set, we've got 18 winners off the racket of Novak Djokovic, 10 from Alejandro Tabilo, 14 unforced errors from Novak, whereas 17 off the racket of Novak Djokovic. Djokovic winning 47 points to the 38 of Tabilo in that set. First serve points won, Novak Djokovic. This is big. 91% of his first serves won. And Tabilo winning just 50% of his second serves. Those are the two standout stats in terms of serving. No double faults either from Djokovic in that set. That's pretty cool. That's going to help. Juju asking, how many sets are there? There are best of 3 sets. So it's the first one to get 2 sets. Yeah, best of 3 is Ghosty highlighting here. Ay. So Djokovic to serve first at the beginning of this second set. Bublik, of course, is chasing a top 10 finish this week. He's playing in Metz. I said top 10 finish. I mean finishing in the ATP top 10. He's not going to make the cut for the ATP Tour Finals. That is a straight fight between Felix Auger-Aliassime and Lorenzo Musetti. Auger-Aliassime is not playing this week, though. So Musetti needs to make the final in Metz. I think he's playing Metz, isn't he, Musetti? Or is he playing Athens? Oh, he's playing Athens. And he's on the opposite side of the draw to Djokovic, so that's good news for Musetti in terms of trying to make the final. He is due to play Wawrinka, by the way, of all people. Djokovic here, 15-love on his serve, but actually Tabilo's won the second serve with a cross-court winner there, 15-all. Just clipping the line. Oof. 0.1 of a millimeter, I think that one landed in. $30-15 now for Djokovic. into the rally here, and Djokovic puts a forehand into the net, 30 all. Forehand now from Tabilo down the line. Forehand from Djokovic into the backhand of Tabilo. Forehand from Djokovic. Forehand Tabilo. And the forehand from Djokovic goes into the net. 30 all. Good serve down the tee from Djokovic. He's not won the point outright yet, though, after a block return. Now Tabilo. I think he's got to be a bit more aggressive, has Alejandro. And he's got a break point. 30-40. So, break point for Tabilo. Chop back return. Backhand now from Djokovic. Decent amount of depth from both players here in this rally. Now it's on the forehand of Tabilo into the backhand of Novak. Backhand Tabilo. Djokovic here peppering the backhand of Alejandro, but now he changes the direction with an excellent forehand winner down the line. Djokovic here bending down. Looks like he's struggling a bit physically right now. Can Novak keep doing this until the 2028 Olympics? That's what he wants to do. I don't know if he can. Deuce. First serve goes into the net. Second serve for Tabilo to look at. Backhand return from Tabilo. Forehand from Novak. Tabilo struggling to stay in this rally, and he doesn't do so. Advantage Novak. Good serve from Novak. Well blocked, though, from Tabilo. He's still in the rally here, but his backhand goes into the net, and Djokovic holds for one love. What am I missing in the live chat? Anything exciting? No, tell me more about this NBA gambling thing. Novak Djokovic's mum, it looks like she's dressed up as an air hostess, by the way. Tell me more about this gambling in NBA. I'm sure there's lots of stuff going on in tennis. I mean, it's just saturated with gambling. And then it has the hypocrisy of speaking out against those that gamble and get involved and corruption, and then also it then turns a blind eye or doesn't really explain where this anger coming from on social media towards the tennis players, doesn't ever put all the dots together, of course, because if it did, it would be culpable. Nice ace down the tee for 15 all there, and Tabilo, from Tabilo. $15 all here anyway, into the rally, and Tabilo wins the next one, so it's 30-15. A reminder that Arina Sabalenka won her match with Jessica Pagula today in 3 sets. She had to come from a breakdown in that 3rd set, though, to do so. And now she needs just 1 set of Coco Gauff in their encounter. So if she was to lose to Coco, but in 3 sets, she would qualify for the semi-finals. If Pagula beats Paolini, she will then be in with an excellent chance of qualifying for the semi-finals. But I think Gauff kind of has to beat Sabalenka, right? I think she has to. She might do it. But can she do it in straight sets to knock Sabalenka out? I'm not so sure. And even then, Sabalenka might not go out if Paolini wins, for example, against Pagula. Or even if Paolini wins in 3 sets, I think so. So basically, Sabalenka has to lose in straight sets and Pagula has to win in straight sets to go out. That drop shot from Djokovic is not going to work, and it's 40-15. And again, Djokovic leaning on his knees. Tabilo holds. $15 Djokovic here on his serve. +1 forehand. He's going to win that point, and it's 30 love. $30 becomes 40 love with an ace. And he holds to love. 2-1, change of ends. We will take a quick break, and then I'll be back with you for the remainder of this set. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of homepage, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid. But these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we have 3 break points for Novak Djokovic. Whew, sorry about that little pause. Kaboli breaks. Sona go up 3-1 in the second. Good serve there from Tabilo, but the backhand goes into the net from Tabilo, and Djokovic breaks for 3-1. So, Djokovic now leads by a set and a break. 1.5 hours for this match, and we're only midway through the second set. Djokovic comes in, serve and volley. Tabilo can't pass. I don't know. I find Djokovic's drop shots execution a bit hit and miss. Good serve down the tee there from Novak. Good forehand from Novak. Well defended by Tabilo. Well defended by Tabilo, but then he goes big on the backhand, goes straight into the net. 30 love. Ace down the tee, and it's 40 love. And Djokovic holds for 4-1. That was pretty comfortable. It's looking pretty straightforward now for Novak Djokovic as he leads 7-6, 4-1. Change of ends, and Alejandro Tabilo is desperate for a change of fortune. And it's love 15 already on the Tabilo serve. His shots, both left and right at the moment, both forehand and backhand, are just going right off. It's almost as if Djokovic has just somehow demoralized the Chilean. Forehand from Novak there going over the high part of the net, goes into the net, and it's 15 all. Forehand here from Tabilo, up the line. Backhand from Djokovic. Forehand from Tabilo. Forehand from Djokovic into the backhand of Tabilo, cross court. And Tabilo, I think, has gone long there with that forehand. So it's 15-30. Slice here from Djokovic. Backhand cross court. Forehand from Djokovic. Backhand into there. Djokovic now moving things up, changing it up. Djokovic in charge, and it's a forehand winner. And Tabilo just sort of throws his hands down like this, not knowing quite what to do and how to win some of these points. He's going to have to just be a bit more aggressive. Simple rallies like this from the baseline, and he's not going to win those. No matter how old Djokovic is and no matter how out of breath he might be. Two break points for Novak Djokovic. Tabilo to serve. Trying to change things up in terms of his serving position to start off with. But now he's coming back in for the second serve. Forehand return from Novak. Backhand cross court from Tabilo. Backhand again from Tabilo into the forehand of Novak. This rally doesn't look good, if you ask me, for Tabilo. Just waiting for an error at the moment from Novak. But he is trying to wait for the opportunity to pounce, and Novak isn't giving him it. Novak with great depth here. Net cord benefiting Novak there. Drop shot from Novak is not going to work, so it's 30-40. And it's a double fault from Alejandro Tabilo, and it's 5-1. Double break advantage. Djokovic now will serve for the match. I say a double fault. That was my bad. It wasn't a double fault, but it was a forehand +1. Tabilo is just broken in every sense of the word. Nole may look gassed, but no big deal. Never heard of Sash. I'm sorry. Make sure you hit that like button, by the way. And of course, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. 15 love, Novak Djokovic. After an ace down the tee, it becomes 30 love. We will see, Matthew. We will see. Djokovic serve out wide, unreturned from Alejandro Tabilo. And it's 40 love. First serve is missed. Second serve here from Djokovic. It's a good second serve from Novak. The backhand is going to be missed, so it's 40-15. Djokovic is going to be playing the winner. If Djokovic wins, he's got 2 more match points here. He's going to play the winner of Spitzeri and Borges, which is coming up after this encounter. Anyway, second match point here for Novak Djokovic. The ball toss goes awry, but he's going to get another go at it, of course. Serve up, serve down. Misses the first serve. Second serve here for Alejandro Tabilo to look at. He has to win the next 2 points to stay in this match. Second serve lands in. Decent return, but Novak on the attack. Comes into the net. Doesn't matter because Alejandro Tabilo can't pass. And Novak Djokovic wins this encounter. 7-6, 6-1. A nice embrace at the net. Djokovic, of course, narrows the gap in terms of the head-to-head because Tabilo won their 2 matches on clay last year in Rome and this year in Monte Carlo. But now it's Novak Djokovic's turn to win in straight sets. Much to the delight of the crowd. Greece is his home nowadays. He's delighted. The crowd are delighted. He will play either Spizzeri or Borges in the next round. 1 hour and 39 minutes. So even though it didn't go 3 sets, it was a pretty lengthy affair. Djokovic grinding from the baseline, and it was enough to get the job done today. Will it be enough to take him all the way in this tournament? Will he continue playing in this tournament if he has to grind all the way to the final and then get to Turin for presumably he'll be given a match on Monday rather than on Sunday? That has been confirmed that he is going to be playing Turin anyway. You do wonder if he's really, really struggling come the semis here, whether he might withdraw at that stage. And yet, I think if he gets to the final, I think he'll be desperate to get title number 101. The autograph hunters are there, waiting to pounce on the Serbian 24-time Grand Slam winner. Is he going to be a 1-time Athens winner come the end of this week? The final, of course, is on Saturday, I believe, giving him an ample opportunity to get to Turin. Excuse me. I don't know specifically where Djokovic lives in Greece, Ghosty. And Steph, is he still watching or did he leave a while ago? Don't know. I know he was there watching, but I can't say much more. I'm not convinced, Matthew, by the way, that Nuno Borges will pose too many problems. I actually thought maybe Tabilo would be the most difficult opponent he might come up against before maybe even reaching the final. The final, of course, may well see Lorenzo Musetti in that final. Musetti, of course, is desperately trying to get to the ATP Tour finals. He needs to make the final to be sure of usurping Felix Auger-Aliassime for that. Djokovic getting a lot of support from the crowd, and there's all the heart emojis, etc. Let's listen to Novak now.
This was a historical match, first time in Athens, first time in front of your Athenian fans. Very recently, you moved to Athens with your family. Can we count this your first?
So Athens apparently is where he lives.
I'm still working on my Greek, but just feel it as you know. And I would agree with you. You know, it feels really like home playing in Athens. A few months ago, when I came here with my family, you know, really was very excited because I always loved Greece. Serbians, all the Serbian loves Greece, for sure. And historically, and culturally, and religiously, we have a lot of things that are connecting us. So it was amazing to experience the great hospitality of the Greek people that Greece is globally very famous for. But you know, more than recognition for my tennis achievement, I felt like people approached me in a most friendly, humane way, and that's something that really touched my heart. So Athens is in my heart, no question about it. You're through to the quarterfinals. What would be the meaning of maybe
maybe winning the tournament at the end of this week would mean to you? Would have a special meaning for you?
Of course, but I just started the tournament, so let's take it slow, one by one, you know. And I'm just really thrilled to get through tonight. We played against Tabilo that I never won against. You know, we played 2 times on clay court this year, last year, and he won both of these matches. So, you know, I was more, I guess, under tension and stress before the match than I would be maybe for some other matches. And I really tried to draw the energy from the crowd and use the support. And I want to thank you, Caristo.
And Mr. Caristo and Novak. And now, please, I would like to draw the attention to the giant screens where we will watch a memorial video of Nikola Pilic.
Okay, so some stats, by the way, from this encounter. We see that Djokovic hit 27 winners today, just 12 winners from Alejandro Tabilo. For me, Tabilo was way too passive at times and was getting drawn into too many lengthy rallies that Novak Djokovic was always going to end up winning. 21 unforced errors from Novak and 23 from Alejandro Tabilo. In terms of serves, listen to this. Novak Djokovic won 92% of his first serves today. He was getting 63% of those first serves in. He didn't hit a single double fault and only had to fend off 1 break point in the entire match. That may well tell you as much as you need to know in what was a fairly dominant, as it turned out, performance, particularly in that second set. And it is Novak Djokovic who progresses. He will play the winner of Spitzeri and Nuno Borges. They are about to get underway on centre court in Athens. But for everybody else, thank you for joining me, and you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.